put a horizontal bar, it's like upside down A, capital A. This is the same as for all real numbers x. And this statement can also be written as somewhat differently like this. There exists a real number x such that x plus 1 is equal to 2. These two are the same for at least 1. These two statements are one and the same. Now in place of there exists, you can also write like this. This represents there exists. There exists a real number x such that this. Actually, these symbols are nothing but ways of making the thing more compact, more economical, so that we don't have to write for all for at least one all the time. Okay. Now, when we have things like this, there can be confusion. What type of confusion? I mean, a statement which involves a variable and universal quantifier, the universal quantifier, that is called a universal statement, and one which has the existential quantifier, it is called an existential statement. So for example, why did I wrap this up? For all real numbers x, okay, just understand this. X plus 1 is equal to 2 for all real x. Now if someone wants to prove this is of course a false statement, so one cannot prove this. Let's look at the other one. X plus, let me use the symbols. There exists a real x such that x plus 1 is equal to 2. Suppose someone wants to prove this, or I want to prove this. What shall I do? How shall I proceed? What am I required to do here? I have to show that there exists a real number x for which this is true. So I have to find a value of x for which this is true. My proof consists of taking x equal to 1 and observing that 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So that is my proof. So you see that in an existential statement, only one value of the variable for which your other statement, that is the sub-statement you can call it. This is the statement, this is the sub-statement. Only one value of the variable for which the sub-statement is true is enough to prove an existential statement. Okay. Keep in mind there may be more than one value. For example, you look at this. There exists a real x such that x squared is equal to 1. Now in this case, if I write 1 square is equal to 1, so x equal to 1 is a real number for which its square is 1. My proof is complete. But there is one more value also. Minus 1 whole square is also equal to 1. So if someone takes x equal to minus 1 and says that minus 1 square is equal to 1, that is also a proof. We just need at least one value. It is not asking us to find all the values for which this is true. Okay, at least one. So to prove an existential statement, you just need one example where the sub-statement is true. However, to disprove an existential statement, okay, for example, Let me take an actual example. There exists a real x such that x squared is less than 0. Okay, you look at this existential statement. Is it true? No, it's not true. For every real number x, x squared is greater than or equal to 0. From the elementary properties of real numbers, we can prove this. So you see that this is not like this situation. Only one example is not enough. If you take x equal to 1 and you say that 1 squared is 1, which is greater than 0, not less than 0. Or if you take x equal to 0, 0 squared is equal to 0, which is also equal to 0, not less than 0. These are not enough. You have to show that for